up on the standings during the game, actually, because it's ready. We are going to jump straight into our very final game of Caldera. It's Warzone Showdown. It's live. It's ready. It's time to find out our champion. One last drop, and we're back. Can you change outfits again? Jess Tunn, I don't know what's going on.
I love it. I love his style. This is exactly what I was saying before also, is Twitch Rivals and any other really like creator-driven event is like a really fun way to see all these streamers' setups, their rooms. I mean, I know, of course, in MoveMind's case, he's got the green screen, so we don't really see his setup in his room and everything, but he's just doing so much with his own visual presentation. He's changing it up every time, and that's just kind of like a little hint that, like, he knows he's playing this event and also entertaining an audience. It's not just about the gameplay, and it's not just about the entertainment. It's a beautiful marriage of both.
But we can see that they are sitting fourth. This team were second after that previous game. So the fact that they're still within touch after putting up a really, very poor game, number 4. They now still have a chance to go on to win it. We'll get an update on the leaderboard very, very shortly. To have a look at least who the top 10 are, I do believe. But here we go. I mean, we haven't seen much from Team MZ at all. Yeah, I know, already in, going up against Riri as well. This is a player who knows exactly what he's doing. Oh, the shots are a little bit windy, if I'm honest.
Oh, that was so disappointing, because she totally got the drop on him, and like MZ, you'll get him next time, girl.
One of those situations where the shots just have to hit, but here we go, standings, left-hand side. Team Coil, 84, they are 10 points in the lead. Team Clapper in second, Team Gagod in third after that win in game number 4. This is still doable for the top 7. I think all have a chance, but I think you're realistically going to have to see a very, very below average game out of Team Coil. That 10-point deficit to second, it's a big one.
See, that's what I was talking about. It's normally, I feel like there is normally a big gap like that. This is what we haven't seen a ton of this event. It's been relatively closer, but here we go with Team Coil. I mean, they had a couple of like phenomenal games, and then they had 2 games in a row, right, where they like just didn't do too terribly or too well. Oh, I might be confusing them with another. Never mind. I was thinking of MoveMind, where they did really, really well, and then they had a couple of bad games. But regardless, I mean, the fact that they haven't necessarily been like placing, like they didn't. Oh, I know what I'm trying to say. Their first game, Coil didn't do too well, and then they started picking things up. And it's kind of crazy how they are so far ahead despite that first game.
Just a couple of really good games, and we've seen Wiz obviously try and last as long as possible in that previous game. I'd be very interested to see how Team Coil are playing it though. Right now, though, good shots coming on through from Team MoveMind. They're currently sitting 4th. They've got a 14-point deficit, well, just under, to try and bring back. That's one good thing about being in Twitch Rivals as well. Plenty of new followers, because if they see you frying, they're like, right, okay, we need to follow this guy. And Team MoveMind will be very much at the top, but now shots coming on through. Going to have to back on down. Fights around airfield are always quite interesting. There is plenty of cover, but there is a lot of open space as well. Just trying to loot themselves up here. Get themselves in a better spot, and that is never, ever, ever bad to find in a box of old MP40. Fantastic ground loot. Does the job. Means you can go for a ghost class, pick up a good Bren, although do you need a good Bren with the way that this default on shooting? My goodness.
I mean, go like that.
Here we go though, Team Coil. Wiz already into the gulag as well. 2 kills to his name, so not too bad of a start actually. Calls the kill in the gulag, counts towards your score. So another kill, definitely wouldn't go amiss. It's a bit cruel. I always try to hit people with the rocks when I'm sitting in the gulag, and I always tend to miss.
Yeah, I never have been able to. Can't you actually,
I don't know what
like, get someone not, like, can you actually kill someone that way?
I don't believe
like
it'll kill them. I think it kind of just stuns them. It's probably happened.
I thought there was like some weird I can't think of what the situation would be. Like maybe if like whoever's in the gulag with them like got down enough of their health, and then like technically a rock could do that little extra bit of damage to like finish them off. But that'd be so like unlikely to happen.
Yeah, very unlikely. Well, Wiz going up against Sin. Oh, she's going to get gunned there. Fantastic shot's going to come in from Sin. Just goes for the spray. Allows them to jump back out, and that's that. Wiz is now, well, down and out. Team FIFA Kill must have had a bit of a better game 4. Currently sitting on 40 points. They know they need, well, I mean, just to even catch up to Team O'Coil, they need to drop a 44-point game.
That's crazy.
They find them, I mean, yeah, I know, they need more than that, though. That's the problem, don't they? They need to overtake them.
One shot on me.
It's never over until it's over. But there you go, there's another few kills on the board. The problem is they need to continue with this aggression and also not die.
Yeah, and that's a tough balance to find, you know, because because the definition of not dying means you kind of don't really play that aggressively and you don't really go for the points, but like they have like an uphill battle. They have to do both.
This guy jumped down from you, Liam.
Shots coming on in.
Towards like the houses or something. Blue house, there.
I see him, he's pushing towards me.
One shot.
And for another fight, they find another. Couple of kills coming their way.
Bounty house.
5 remaining.
Me?
Come upstairs, come upstairs.
Still advancing forward. Knows there's somebody in there. That's 2 team wipes in a row. Very, very quickly. There's Revolt and Code down. Yeah, that's Team Quickie out of the race, or at least in the gulag.
Hello, yo, where the fuck? Where'd you kill this guy?
I killed this guy here.
Just looking for a little bit of loot. Picking themselves up, but 4 kills already for FIFA Kill. Look, if they can drop 30 kills and win it,
Do you know what? There's not been a lot.
you never know.
That's
But
a tall
you still
order.
need some other teams to have bad games. That's their problem.
Yeah, well, so they would need to kill a third of
Sure, we
the
can get 2
players
UAVs
that are
for
still
that,
alive on the battlefield right now. Like,
They've done it before.
okay, it's possible.
I'm just, if any team is gonna do it, it will be them.
You think they've been
It still
saving it
sucks.
just
We should get
for a
more
little bit of
ones on though, up
showmanship?
here.
They've been
Those
kind of
five
like
up in the
playing like
Well,
fair to middling
I
on
mean,
purpose, and then
If that was the plan, I do not agree with it.
Coach Chun says no.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, move mind. His team's still sitting within touching distance
So
of that first place squad.
did he have a wig on over his hat before, or was that his real hair sticking out of his hat?
It's a good question. It's a very good question, Jess. We'll have to find that out. Maybe that's a little bit of the homework for one of us to find out if that was his real hair.
Who does he remind
That'd
me
be
of?
If you are going to say that, I don't know if you can say that name on Twitch.
What? Okay, I missed something.
No, that's fine.
I think he reminds me of Dr. Robotnik right now.
That's the one. Well, you see, I thought you were going to say another doctor there, and I was like,
Oh, yeah, that's funny. No, I wasn't even thinking that. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, I was thinking all Dr. Robotnik. And I'm like not
Yeah, I get
exactly.
that.
He's not, shaped like an egg, but like he's got the specs.
And the facial hair.
Yeah. He's like Dr. Robotnik, the teenage years.
Would you call him a teenager?
Well, I just in terms because like the mustache hasn't fully. It's not like as
right.
large. It
Yeah.
needs time to extend both directions
Fair.
horizontally before he'll fully look like Dr. Robotnik.
Well, they're picking up the loadout, and now they have the potential to go on and crack on with the rest of the game, see what they can get going. Still need to put up a decent game. Around, what, 14 points or so behind? It was 13, sorry. So they do still need a decent little game out themselves. A 20-point, that might be enough. A lot of these teams are really going to be sweating it when it comes down to that final few placements. And the thing is, we've never kind of had that scenario where it's actually come down to the final couple of kills. It happens every now and then. I'd love to see like the top 2 teams fighting it out for that final spot for the multiplier that will make the difference. That's the dream. That's the dream. UAV popped. Not really much to talk about on that side of things. But Team Gargoda found themselves in a nice little spot after that really, really good win in game number 4. I think they went from top 15 to 3rd. 72.9, so what, they're around 11, 12 points away from first place. So they need another good game. If any one of these top 5 teams goes on to win with a decent amount of kills, they should take the whole thing.
Yeah, I think Gagod has a very good shot here. I mean, I don't like that 0 kills that Denna has right now, but there's still time.
Like the female skin.
And I will say, overall, I feel like Gagad's team has had the possibly highest entertainment value. I did note down at one point during game... I just lost it. During one of the games, we got to spectate Gagad's Gulag, and it was very entertaining, very action-packed, just kind of jumping around. And then, of course, with Delio getting stuck in the rock.
Nicht ganz oben, ne? Das ist
So
noch
even if they don't pull off the win, they were number one in entertainment value.
Kein Geist.
Pentagon and Co. 5th for them. Still within, I would say, shooting distance of that lead. It's around, what, 16 points or so that they need to make up. Again, any of these teams within like the top 6 or 7, if they have a huge game, they very well could take it. Shot's going to go in here from Pentagon, though. Making the move on the bounty. All the teammates there, though. This is just a solo kill. Shot's going to come in, goes for the reach. Oh, really good shots from Pentagon now. Going to make the push here with the MP40.
Nice.
Good gun. And that's quicker than you, down and out. It's another team who were not too far off the top. And you managed to find the kill onto him. Very, very well played. And that's a good kill to take as well. Stops them making any more progress.
This is lending more credence to my theory that Team Pentagon could pull off the overall win.
They could. They need more kills than this. Although, I don't know how many of the rest of the team have got, I suppose. But based off Pentagon so far, you'd like to see a little bit more from them if they are wanting to take this win. Now, jumping on board. The team move mine still sitting in the 4th, still on those 70 points. Kills are, well, few and far between for CHS at least anyway.
Aí pra baixo, no meu live ping, exatamente, bro. Aqui? Pingaste aqui.
Still looking for some shots up from up above. Again, that verticality we talked about time and time again. Shots coming in. This time from another one of the members. I've seen move mine. It's going to be Swids. I honestly... Oh, is it not Sued? And then ZZ's after it anyway. Nonetheless, he's taking some shots here. Has to back on down. And if anything, the stim's just about going to save him. Gets away thanks to that. I'm going to land back on the floor and just get himself plated up. But that's not a position they would have liked to take. They were up top. They were high. Now they're down low. They're going to be pushed. Shots have come in, though. His teammates actually saved him from having to make any further shots. The sniper's now out. Just misses that by a whisker. Looking to try and just clean up this kill on the top of the roof, just surviving whilst he can. One of the teammates, and that is move mine into the gulag. Big fight here. Coming up for Sued. Can he find the gunny? Yes, he can. There's the kill as well on the control deck. Still surviving. Seems like there may be more now on board with move mine. Going up against Denner. This is a huge gulag. Both these teams within the top 4. MoveMind has to win this for his team. He has to keep things rolling. 2 still up and alive. Shot's going to go in. Doesn't find it. The throwing knife for the win. Could you imagine? MoveMind now weak. Goes for the challenge on the Denner as well. Can't get it done. I don't know what he said. He's not very happy though. That's a huge, huge kill for Denner though. This team continue on.
You know, as heart-wrenching as that is for MoveMind, like, don't you just love seeing those human moments? I love that you get to see the reaction. Like, yeah, we can all expect that someone would be kind of upset in that situation. And yeah, we don't know what he said, but it's just so cool that we get to see it.
Still searching around for kills. What was that? 5 to the name.
5 kills. I like that.
So they need to continue this kind of form, and they also need to probably try and find a win. This is what all these teams are going to have to try and aim for. That looked not far off. Doesn't land. Takes one back in the head himself, though. Or maybe, obviously, just in the chest because he didn't fall. Look for the peek on the angle to the door on the left-hand side. Now jumping back on board, this is going to be Team Clapper. They're sitting in second. We actually haven't really seen much from them at all. Vimson, Clapper, and Sinful second after 4 games. And I believe this is pretty much the first time we've seen them.
Might be able to go deep right or left.
Yeah, did you just say this is the first time we've been spectating Team Clapper?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. They must have had a hellish game
Clapper, you need to
in
help
game
me, I
number
think.
4 because as far as I'm aware, they really haven't been too much in the mix.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so funny because they're second place, and we literally, I don't think, have seen anything from them, which, you know, not a knock on our, you know,
think I should be
spectators at all. Like, shout out to the observers.
I mean, there's so
We've
many
been
teams,
capturing
right?
a ton of action. It's just insane that, you know, there's just so much action with so many players that we can have this team that's sitting in second place, and, like, we haven't seen them yet.
Team Pentagon now. Needing to find something. Pops the stim. Speed round the back. There's the kill. Gonna drop pre-aero card. I want challengers players who actually
So eine Platzierung jetzt gehen. Ja.
won a challengers event last year in Europe. So I mean that's a pretty good gunfight to find.
Noch die 2 Tracks.
Now 6 kills for Pentagon, and although they do not have their teammate up and running, it's only Pentagon and Fusion who can do much now. Now on board with Timo Kyle. It's the kind of game you need to see from them. 4 kills for Wiz, that's fine. Just keep everybody else out of touch. Finish in with the multiplier, even a top 10 finish for them. Oh my word, that is a hell of a shot onto Wiz.
Where is he going?
No way, we're not playing this.
I'm going, man.
Run away, we're not playing this. We heard them say they're in a situation they do not want to be in.
I think Wiz asked why they're not playing this. Why are we not challenging this fight? Wiz is left alone.
Land back on it. A sec.
Smart from Wiz, just trying to get himself away so that
Oh.
his loot maybe can't be caught, but he has been dropped. Didn't quite catch how many kills they had there. Wiz is about to fall on this screen, obviously a slight delay difference, but O'Coyle and Kenny still alive and kicking. 2 kills to O'Coyle's name. Wiz had, what, 4 or 5? So that's still fine. If they can chip away even a 10 to 15 kill game and a decent finish within the top 5 or 10, they should be fine. Unless one of the top 5 has an absolute stormer.
I don't even think we peeked, you know, just in case you get knocked.
Very patient play from these guys. Big game bounty has expired now, so the information that they did have on that player up there no longer available to them. Now jumping on board, Team Move Mind. Red's going to have to come on through here from CHS. Move Mind, of course, dropping out after that Gulag loss to Denner. Scouting around, and I mean, look, we're seeing quite slow play from them all here, Jess. They have to be so careful. They don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, it's not the time to be taking risks, and you know, once again, even in the comms, not frantic. You know, sometimes things will get a little bit more urgent, shall we say, but I would not, you know, categorize anything about this as frantic.
Shots coming in. Squads now needs a little bit of help. CHS is now going to be pushed. Really good shots going to go on through, though. The drop comes through. Can they find the second as well? Squads is there to help out. The challenge comes on through. The pistol doing the damage. Trophy system can save that other player's life, but we can see that Squads is now trying to make this push. The playing up scenario now coming on through. The fight pauses for nearly a moment before the push is going to come back through. Squads out the window, going to find the gunfight, going to find the team wipe as well. Some gas right there.
Oh my
I
god.
think from Move Mind. Bim's in here for his team. And is this not the team that are sitting in second for Clapper? Team Clapper? Bim's in needs to win this up against All Rounder, or they're done.
Let's fucking go!
He guns them and keeps them in the game.
Wow.
That's huge.
Way to clutch.
Oh, and you can hear the sigh of relief.
Yeah.
So they stay involved. Team Move Mind also still up and running yet.
I mean, you know, I gotta say, seeing how MoveMind went out earlier was so heart-wrenching that, like, I really hope his teammates are able to kind of avenge him.
We're going for the rest now. I just seen him right there.
Storm, surely.
Timo Coyle still doing well.
Yeah, exactly.
Prezi,
And this is just not what you want to see if you're one of the other teams within that top 7 that we're kind of dubbing the ones that can catch them. And if they're just putting in even an average game here, it's going to make it very, very difficult. Wiz and Co, though, they're going to put the pressure on as best as they possibly can. They got the height advantage as well. They're finding the shots. You can see your Coyle has put the bullets in.
Over here as well.
You know, even just from a personal standpoint, I feel like for Wiz especially, this has been a long time coming, a performance like this. In a huge tournament like this. We kind of gassed him up every time we've watched him, every time we've seen this guy play. We've always said that this man knows what he's doing when it comes to Warzone. His shot is insane.
I'm just preeming it.
And right now, his team are doing what we believe his skill to be. They're doing that justice. The rest of the team very much working together well. Wiz isn't able to find that shot, just picking and choosing where he wants to be taking these gunfights. Pendigan, oh, he's just about surviving here.
A little bit
Stim helping him out, can't get away. Can't get away, he falls as well to Sebi. And then all of a sudden, that's their game dead. That is their tournament dead. Top 5, that's not going to be enough to catch up to first.
Nope, I think rip my hopes and dreams. I mean, not that I was necessarily hoping and dreaming the Pentagon would win, but you know, I did call them last game as they could win.
Oh my word. Sweds has done so well there, but he is actually going to fall to Moonride. I think his teammate is actually in the gulag here, so Team Move Mind will actually be out there. We get confirmation on that. Of course, everything is very much just theory crafting from us until we do see that final scoreboard, Jess. Team Recrunt sitting 11th now, 48 points, still on for a good tournament, but the win probably out of their grasp unless we see a crazy game. But based on the fact that Recrunt has 1 kill, maybe that's not something we're going to see out of the Russian squad. Going in for his loadout, needs to get a hold of that as best as he can. Mimkit goes down. Can't see what he can do, but back on board with Team O'Coyle. It just feels like it's their day. O'Coyle with 4 kills, 24 remaining. They're in the top 15. The multiplier's coming in. It would take some crazy game for one of these teams to catch up to them, I think.
I think you're right about that. Which is exciting to watch still, because again, didn't they have a pretty bad first game, and then second game was phenomenal, and they've been kind of doing well since then?
That's where you full team there. I need ammo. Is you have ammo?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah.
We'll see it. We'll see it all at the end. Either way,
Yeah, we'll see.
They haven't had like a really bad game as far as I'm aware. I think they maybe have like a below average one at least, but they've had a couple of absolute. I don't know if this is a saying in America, but a couple of corgas.
Corker?
I don't know. Like corga, yeah, like a bottle of Coke.
Okay. I like learning the. Okay, because one thing, I knew this one already, but earlier Bryce said touch wood, which I knew was the expression. We say knock on wood.
Ah, yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Corgas. I don't actually know where it originates from. I don't know if Bryce will maybe shed more light on that later.
Ireland, maybe?
I don't know. Look, I'm just use my own Wikipedia page. I don't know.
Random things.
Team Danny Cooper staying alive as best as they possibly can. Currently sitting in 26th. Shots coming up through. Not good enough. They get gunned, and who's this on them? Who's the one that's finding these fights? Baby Chopper's the one that can actually answer back. It's actually, they're fighting up against Wiz, they're fighting up against Team O'Coyle, and who's actually going to come out on the other side of that? It's Nactix, so that's somebody completely different. The third person comes through. Horrid Henry and Sebi.
Take your time. See what's on.
36, but they're very much alike, a win underneath their belt.
I thought I saw
place.
the name Zamza pop up. I know that name. That is another person that I recognize, but you know, we haven't seen too much out of him this game.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Good shots coming in from Exian. Now they're starting to make the push. Final circle coming very, very shortly. Only 3 other teams remaining on top of these guys. And now it's going to be Exian all on his own. 3 kills to his name. Only 6 remaining. Rock climbing clearly not his forte.
Try to let people die.
His teammates just calming him down. as we head into this very final circle. It feels like it is going to be Teemo Coyle, but who else have we got left alive and kicking? Who else has maybe put up some really, really big game that we just don't know? Bertha in and around the final circle with this amount of open ground, absolute nightmare.
Third and second, 1.8. All of this is
4 teams, 6 players. Gonna be an exciting finish.
Yeah. And the thing is, for a team like Team Sebi, though,
I'm not third.
Currently now in the top 3, 5 players remaining, so at least there is one team. Potentially with 3, maybe with 2. Well, it's the team with 3, and it's going to be Naftix and Co. They're currently sitting 8th as well, so this could be a big game for them. This could really rise them up the rankings. Now they're in a 1v3, and that will be up against the guy we were just on board with, and there is the win for Team Naftix. That's going to be a 16-point game, so a 32-point game overall for that first place finish. Nicely done from them in game number 5. But still, Bryce, don't really know who's won. Don't know who's won. I've got my presumptions, but I don't exactly know.
I tell you something, right? That's not usual. Towards the end of this, we kind of have more of an idea who we're watching up coming into the end of it, but everybody was so close, and there were obviously so many kills flying about, and some of the more prominent names have dropped out early. We know they haven't won. There's actually pretty open, Jess, and I'm very curious to who I think has actually walked away the winner here. And we do. We actually do have the result. Let's find out then. Winner of Twitch Rivals, the European Call of Duty Warzone Showdown is... Oh, it's Teemo Coyle. Coyle, AB Wiz, and Y Kenny are going to walk away the Twitch Rivals champions for today. They'll take $15,000 as well. And I'll tell you something, Tom, we've been hyping up AB Wiz for a little while. It is good to see him win.
Yeah, look, I said this during the cast because I just thought with how well they played that final game that it was going to be enough, and it's enough by a good amount. They did just enough. Team Naftix actually with that win get themselves up into 2nd place, and that's just about. Pendigan 3rd, Clapper 4th, and just moving on down. Movement, they were sitting so good. Look at those first 2 games they have, and they just can't continue. But back to Teemo Coyle, they have that one very poor game. Jesse, you remembered very, very well. But that 37.5 game, and then consistently in and around 20 or 15 points every single time. The most kills in the lobby at 70 in 5 games. Phenomenal performance from them.
It was, Jess. Also, God, you were keeping an eye on them the entire tournament. They've had a pretty good run. Maybe that game 5 just didn't go the way they wanted.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Game 5, a couple other games didn't quite go the way they wanted. I would argue the game 4, looking at the points, really is the only game that probably really did go the way they wanted, and the reason they're sort of hanging on. You know, it's God, especially after game 4, 36, game 5, 6.5, that 6.5 has got to hit so hard. Like, that's got to be such a disappointment coming off of, like, you know, they had some struggles during the first 3 games. They got some points on the board, but they weren't really, you know, doing anything phenomenal. Game 4 comes along, and they're maybe heartened temporarily, thinking, all right, boys, we're just got to finish it strong, and then they are not able to do so, and that's got to be such a disappointment. I mean, it was still so much fun watching them for a variety of reasons, watching that team in particular, but yeah, they've got to be feeling, I mean, you know, even though 6th place is such a great placement and they still get, I mean, probably pretty good sizable prize money, they've got to be probably feeling pretty down on themselves.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though, isn't it? This is how this all works. It's cumulative. You've got to be consistent. You've got to have good games the entire way through as we run down for this one. Other highlighted teams, I suppose, Team Louis CM didn't manage to break the top 10. Team Recronton.
Yeah, Team Recruit not too far away from that, but just consistently average games from them. I think Team Louis CM will be disappointed with that one, where they got the 4 points. I think, you know, you add another decent game in there at 15, and suddenly you're within the top 6 or 7. So, you know, a lot of these teams are not far off. It's one very decent game away in terms of score lines, but then otherwise you're seeing some teams who had a couple of really good games. I mean, Team Isaac, look at that. 8 kills in one in the other, 9 in the other 2, and then 22.4 points in one of the other games is what's found them up in even 17th. But just a surprise we haven't seen one of the other teams that was really on everybody's lips at the beginning of the night. Even within the top 2 pages there, they are 24th place for Team FIFA kills. I mean, they mustn't have submitted their score for the game 5 because we did actually definitely see kills, but that 4 and 5 pointer from them's the killer.
It really is. It is. And just going through this, obviously, you kind of get to see some of these European teams for the very first time. I've got to say, this is a little bit of a new blood at the top of the scoreboard, realistically, because a lot of these we haven't seen do this well before.
Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of new blood, you know, for me, from my perspective. But I do want to kind of point out also Team Alpha Sniper. Oh, I'm sad. I remember seeing them, I think that was probably game 2, that I kept commenting like, oh yeah, they were 49th place during game 1 because they had 0 kills and we're spectating them. They were doing pretty well and I got so hopeful, and then they went on to have, unfortunately, a pretty bad game 3 and 4 by the looks of things. Game 5, they showed a few signs of life, but it was not enough to compensate for the unfortunate things that have happened during some of these games. And I think it is a fun perspective to know that, you know, even though I'm, you know, all these teams pretty much are new to me, some of them are new to you, but it's really great that it was kind of a new blood, as you said. It wasn't necessarily the same names that were sort of predicting to do well or always doing well, and it's always great to see that variety.
It is. Well, Team Sam Ham here, 31st. Not a great start on the first 4 games, but redeemed themselves in game number 5. 21 points there as well. Unreal. And last but not our least, everybody here has had fun and everybody's got points on the board, so that's always a big thing. I will say, surprised at Team Lowen, maybe just playing something else other than Warzone recently, Ton.
Yeah, maybe things just not going their way. I think when you maybe have a start like Team... Look, it actually genuinely wouldn't surprise me that they didn't play some of their games, unfortunately. But yeah, for Team Lowen to finish that far down after, well, the previous tournament being first after 1 game, it's, yeah, that's as high of a fall from grace as you could possibly speak about, really, when it comes to this kind of thing. But look, I mean, look, I'm just presuming they didn't play some of their games. I would have definitely expected them to do a little bit better, but nonetheless, I'm sure they'll fight another day, Brycey.
Well, I hope so as well. I think for me as well, you know, everybody in this tournament is an incredibly good player, and that's the kind of the crazy thing. I have to say, yeah, maybe some of these teams at the bottom haven't had a good tournament, but they're always